Welcome back to our late weekly review of LDL Week 1. You know how it goes, I watch the battles and provide you some background noise. I'm pretty late on this one, so even though I did watch, I think like half of them live, I I forgot what happens in most of them. Like, I have no clue what happened here, even though I watched it. But starting off, we do have Zephyr into Ufio. And already Dracovish already looking like a huge menace here because Ufio doesn't have any sort of switch into that other than maybe Roaring Moon. But luckily Ufio does have a lot of monsters that are faster than that, so this Dracovish might be resorting to Scarf here. Latios also looking really good, but Registeel, if it can get up some sort of like Iron Defense, start body pressing this team, that's going to be a big menace against anything other than this double A, which it can't really touch. Let's start out Ogerpon into Skarmory. Already this is rough. Moldbreaker does break the sturdy in one hit, but the thing is, I think Skarmory is so physically bulky, it will lift this Ivy Cudgel anyway. This could go for SD, which is why if I was Skarmory, I'd go for the Brave Bird or the Body Press or whatever, get enough chips so that Roaring Moon can revenge it right afterwards. Because to me, Skarmory doesn't look that great here. It beats Cleavor. It might be able to beat Dracovish or do something against it, but doesn't look that great here, so I would definitely get damage on this. And look on SDs as the spikes go up and Ivy Cudgel knocks out in one hit. Or a few turns, but depending on the Roaring Moon sets, this can be a decent play because Roaring Moon can revenge it if it's booster acrobatics. We'll make it fine, but other than that, speed boosting Tusk with Rock Move, but that obviously can miss. And Mismagius can't OHKO this, so already looking kind of tough in this specific set. Starmie comes out, yeah, only specs like Hydro Pump would have knocked this out, and Starmie goes down. Probably gets the chip for Roaring Moon Fish off with knockoff, didn't have aggro. Spiky Shield, it does have aggro actually, I think that definitely would have knocked this thing out, even if it's pretty defensive. But, I remember now. That was pretty greedy series of plays. I'm guessing when into Starmie he forgot Roaring Moon would revenge this thing. But you can't be playing around with them on like this and try to go for the sweep that early, especially because getting up at the dance with the Roaring Moon doesn't really win you the game. They have the Blade, which could probably live even your knockoff. Iron Hands will always live anything you go for unless you could like crit Earthquake, so definitely not even worth it setting up because you don't even win the game if they do not KO you or go for something else or whatever. But Ogerpon will at least go down to recoil as Mismagius comes out on Iron Hands. Iron Hands, I believe, even with the Quirk attack, can't KO a more bulky Mismagius, but if this is pretty offensive, I think it might be able to get OHKO'd by this Iron Hands. As in Gleam, it's 46, sub comes out from hands, other Gleam comes out, it was the sub, Supercell, it does actually KO this not very bulky on Mismagius, I'm guessing, even though Supercell is a bit stronger than the other moves. Your Tusk able to get rid of this, but Latios comes in, Registeel swaps, as it is a Luster Purge Latios, so I'm guessing Registeel might be able to beat this thing 1v1. He goes for Thunder Wave, is it faster? It's not, it's slower, and this is a Combine Lati. So it looks like it will probably clean up, unless this gets really unlucky with the paralysis here. It does once Iron Defense comes out, which means this thing probably can't even touch it. Another one comes out, we need a full para here. We get it, Body Press gets a nice chip 50. Another Sphere gets rid of it. Tusk can probably KO it with Ice Spinner, but at this point Dracovish can probably just revenge kill this thing. I don't think Tusk can ever kill Dracovish in one hit. But if this is not able to, if this like dies to a crit or something, it's not able to KO Tusk or do anything, Tusk might definitely take it home with double A and a Cleavor in the back. As it is, Scarf knocks out Tusk. And a clean win from Zephyr, even though at the end, definitely a bit scary because this team is really weak to Great Tusk. But can't do much about that. At least you sack your letters at an appropriate time because it's the only mon remaining. You still have Dracovish. Could have done very differently if Starmie was still around, and that Roaring Moon basically just wasted that booster energy in order to aggro that Ogerpon. Maybe it would have switched out, who knows, but... Game 2, and oh my gosh. I forgot this... Oh, I forgot how crazy some of these teams were. I see Ariados staring me down. Yeah, this one needs no words. I see no sort of hazard movement here, so obviously webs are just going to start out for completely free unless it has darts on Bolt. Ariados comes in. We don't see a scout for darts, but Draco comes in, does nothing. And a Sucker Punch takes out half of its HP. T-Bolt fails to KO. Low Kicks comes in on another Sucker Punch. Protect comes out. Surprised that didn't come first turn to scout for the Dragon Darts. Now losing. Likely Pelipper is going to come in to set up the rain for relatively free. Toxic comes out. This is really good because Lu is just such a big annoying menace, even to a team which, like, every mon here technically beats it. Unless maybe Archelon or Zorak are hit or miss. Sometimes they can beat it, sometimes they can't. But it's still a mon that just takes 0 damage from anything. And Toxic definitely help with that. Okix comes in maybe on Roost, maybe on U-turn. Turn comes out. Urshifu is able to come in. First impression, only does half Surgeon Spike, so obviously get rid of this in the rain. Probably either Dondoza or maybe Dragapult will come in. This is Life Orb. Dragapult does not come in, which means it's probably not Clear Body. Dondozo gets taunted, but it just knocks it out, doesn't play games with the Urshifu. Tinglu comes in on Arch. And Electric Shot raise special attack, but now that this thing is toxic, even if you want to go for Earthquake for Arch, if this is some bulky like Leftovers, Rest, Stamina, whatever, Iron Defense, then this will beat you down your glue. But it looks like it doesn't. Does it lead to Leftovers? It doesn't. Was Arch able to do decent damage to Lu, but it will in fact lose a 1v1. Never mind, it lives to see another day because Barraskewda comes out. Lizzo comes in. Probably on flip turn. Oh, this is Barraskewda. I mean, this is Zorak. That was a good play baiting in damage on Dozo. Never mind. Last one was a crit. I completely missed that. So this Dark Pulse does not knock this out, and this Zorak does not have Grass Knot. So Zorak is taken down. Pelipper probably coming into Revenge with Hurricane. Still looks like Barraskewda can sweep from here because the Dragapult is chipped. Storm comes down. I think Barraskewda actually just won already. Unless Dragapult has something up its sleeve. Because the amount of rain terms remaining, Liquidation times 4 should knock out every single one of these mons. King Lu gets sacked. Okay, I remember this now. Yeah, Terra is unfortunately illegal, and that play lost them the game. If I remember correctly, they actually didn't have Liquidation, they had to go for the Terra flip turn. But I think regular flip turn might have actually knocked out Dragapult from here. I could calc it for the sake of what happened here. Barraskewda, I believe this is probably Choice Bandit, the way he's been playing it, versus Dragapult flip turn in the rain. 46 to 54 to non-defense invested Dragapult. So actually, more often than not, I think this Dragapult is able to clutch it out. So it would have come down to it would have just come down to rolls. Depending on how bulky this thing is, it could obviously live it if it's really bulky. But I'm not quite sure it was, judging from the fact that it's like full special, one for Draco, one for T-Bolt. But unfortunate, Mutera here. Nothing I could say about that. Sometimes he just forgets. Not really like a bad play or anything. Here we do have this Willow that has the bounty on its head versus the Walking Way kind of pseudo-sun. Interesting team. Soaking looks very good into this team, but on the contrary, this Cortana looks amazing here. Ace is its only real issue. It can kind of muscle through the rest of the mons here with ease. As for Swallow, the only issue for it is really this Cloud's-Hair. The rest of things kind of get destroyed by Hurricane if you land them. Let's start this out. Ice Core leads on Fable. Protects on Calm Mind, probably expecting maybe Knock or Ice Beam to come out. Decent Scout. Earthquake comes in as this Fable just goes for another Calm Mind. Another one as Ice Beam just knocks us out, not even going for the recovery move. Which is fair enough. Getting rid of Glycecore very early is really good for Claude. And obviously if you're using Glycecore, you'd expect them to recover on that turn. So Earthquake was a fine play as well as like a double out, and you might have been able to catch something on the switch. But Cinderace is able to come in and miss its Pyro Ball. It's in Blaze range. This is another Pyro Ball as this Clef gets to it shouldn't have. Well, that's just unfortunate. Maybe Nihilego couldn't have killed it, maybe worried about them just going hard Claude. But I get the Cinderace play pretty safe versus this team. The Wake could come in, you're faster, you could get a U-turn. And Slowking is free. And really unfortunate those two missed there. Soul is able to knock it out from that range with Boom Burst, means it most likely specs. Another Boom Burst comes out. As this Cresselia goes for Calm Mind, goes split out leftovers. And it goes for Store Power, does exactly half of it. You can Boom Burst, get a roll, nope, Store Power roll. Yeah, Spilla goes down, but Cresselia does not recover its HP, so it's dead to whatever comes in next. Nihilego able to get the Beast Boost, but obviously Cloud's-Hair deals with it, Kartana deals with it, Walking Wake deals with it. Maybe not Wake, I don't think that kills, but... Cloud able to force Nihilego out, and Toxic to Slowking. Good for late game. As Mega Mawile comes in on the Cloud's-Hair as they double out into Rotom Heat on that. Go back into Wake, which means they probably have no Volt Switch. Mawile comes in. I'd get Chip on this here for sure. Let's they go for Sunny Day. I think it's definitely a misplay, although you could try to like expect like Slowking's gonna come in. I could try to get my boost and sweep. If you get any sort of chip on this, basically I think Kartana already wins the game from this point. With like Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, whatever. And Walking Wave could do a ton to this with Hydro Steam, with Surfer, Flamethrower, whatever you have on this thing. Like I said, it's a Dragon move. And obviously if they go Slowking, it's a bit annoying, but you can probably just set up Sunny Day after. This thing doesn't look like it can really do too much damage to you. Rotom Heat comes in, Nihilego avoids the para. Go for another Discharge, so this thing just attack. No, goes for a Side Shock, predicting Claude. Another Discharge comes in, but Nihilego isn't choice, so it's able to knock that out. Get a special attack boost. Now Claude comes in, probably gonna live this easily. Unaware Claude. Just easily tanks that Side Shock and KOs it. Well, Model is probably just gonna KO this right here, Psychic Fangs. And this is where the chip would have come in, because Sacred Sword at 32. Knockoff yet does not KO this. If you got any sort of chip on this, as long as your Kartana does have Grass move for Slowking, then you did probably win the game, unless this is like Rindoberry Flamethrower, but you have 3% remaining. That's really unfortunate. You have to think a lot about the late game. I think the more sort of offensive sweepers you have, like Kartana, like Walking Wake, because as long as you get enough chip and persistence enough to sweep, then stuff like this won't happen. You will be able to take home this game. But unfortunate. Next up. I'll just do that for your guys' benefit. I don't remember exactly what happens here. All I know is that it is... it's a long one. I'll start with the beginning analysis. if I'm silver here, I would definitely like when you're using a very defensive team, the first thing you need to do is need to scout like all of their well breakers, whatever sort of weird tricks they have up their sleeves to beat you. Obviously, Talonflame into Meow looks like a good matchup. You're faster, like if you have U-turn that's free, if you have Brave Bird or Flare Blitz that's free. But unless this is Gale Wings Brave Bird, I would always double out here. Main reason being, even though I don't think it would be a good bring in this matchup, I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Scarf Power Gem Meow come out to knock this out. And even if it's like isn't Power Gem, it could just be trying to knock off your boots really early. Because obviously Latias doesn't want to be relegated as a defogger, this is obviously their defogger. And if this has to come in like on the rocks, then that's going to be really annoying, but this team doesn't have rocks, so it doesn't matter as much. But I'd definitely be a bit worried about that in the scouting phase. But Aloe just comes in on U-turn. The reason, like, I would have just went Ferrothorn on Meow because it covers like a lot of their switches. If they can't go Blaze, they can't go Side Guard because Will-O-Wisp might come out. The only real plays there are to go into Weezing or Aloe. And Ferrothorn has a decent matchup against both of them, at the very least a good mid-ground here. Weezing comes in, it gets lead seated, because it comes in obviously Fire move. Double out to Meow as Peck comes out. Knock on Bane, which means that this is protective pads. Next Pex goes for Scald, won't get a burn because of Misty Terrain. That's able to get a little bit of chip on Meow, that'll help for later in the game. Your turn comes out as Aloe does come in, and it's going to be a bit of a stall fest here. Let me do you guys a favor as Silver is getting progress. Ferrothorn getting continuously chipped down. Hazards keep entering and exiting the field. Aloe burned. And the problem I'm seeing from Naga's perspective with this game is obviously Galay didn't come out. I think you should try to get it out more though. Because what I see happening is basically he's chipping down your Weezing, Silver is just maneuvering around your team trying to get a feel to like get all your sets to wear your team down. And the only mon you're wearing down is Ferrothorn, which isn't really a wall to begin with, doesn't have much recovery. It is annoying, granted. But the thing is, I'm not seeing any sort of ways that you actually break through their main defensive core with Talonflame, with Toxapex, with Latias so far. And like these T-Specs keep coming out, Weezing is forced to come out, and every time this Lele comes out, you're in a bad situation. If they Psychic and like you stay in or you go anything but Meow, this team's just gonna get blown up by that. Especially if this is Specs, it might be Scarf. Could be whatever it wants to be, honestly. And if you go Meow, obviously on Moonblast, it's gonna die, then Psychic will be free forever. So this is the Pyapha Berry on the Weezing. It's able to live that, and it's able to chip down Lele, which is big. And Naga's perspective, I think your biggest objective right now is getting rid of this Lele now that it is chipped. I would definitely really try to position to make sure this never comes in for free, and then I could always get something in on it that forces a that lets me scout for free. Like if Aloe comes in on full HP on Lele, I'm able to flip turn free. But at least the Lele never has to play that mind game again, because now that Weezing is in the range for another Psychic. Meow gets chipped, gets his pads knocked off. Aloe just stalling as this Latias is Thunderbolt. Most likely at this point, Roost or Recover, whichever one. Could be Refresh, could be Calm Minds. I'm guessing the other attack it has to be either Draco or Ice Beam. If it has Calm Mind, it's probably Draco. But if it's like a Refresh set meant to like Solid Glare, then it's probably just Ice Beam to deal with these two without lowering your special attack. I guess there are other moves they could run. This thing can have lots of sets. And because this Meow doesn't have boots, it doesn't have pads, it's getting chipped every time it steps on spikes. Elo is already almost halfway out of wishes. Third comes in on Pex, goes for a sub. Ice Beam comes out, 1,000 arrows. This does not have flare, unfortunately, and Blaze is forced to come in on Ice Beam. Blaze looks like it gets walled by Toxic Pex. And it reveals it's not boots either. Never mind, Jesus turned 55 already, like no significant progress has been really made by Naga. Only thing they got is really that damage on Lele that really matters, I think, to me. And what Silver got is they basically removed the one chance this has of living the Psychic. And they scouted every single set here. We know Blaze's Choice now. We know Elo's sets they're out of 10 out of their 16 wishes. We know Zygarde said it's sub 1,000 arrows, either Coil or DD. We know Weezing's full set, and its item is gone. Same with Meow, so Meow can't even like U-turn anymore. That risk of Flame Body burning it. It looks like it doesn't have a fighting move to deal with Ferrothorn on it, which doesn't seem like it would matter because obviously Talonflame is faster. It could just go for Brave Bird or Flare Blitz, whatever, knock it out from that range. But still, that means this menace is still alive. But he's able to come in, but Shadow Ball does nothing, even with the split up drop. And yeah, this looks unwinnable by judging by their sets, so you just have nothing to break through this bulky team. First Mon finally dies at turn 72. And it's this type of Lily bench to live on a sliver. As this Necrozma just starts hitting up for free on the Elo. Probably not come out from this, break this up, but this probably can KO with Geyser, yeah. At this point, this is Scarf Blaze, but it's not able to kill this. 1,000 arrows, very defensive. Zygarde can't KO it. Weezing dies. Elo lives, can't do anything about it. And Meow actually lives the +2 knockoff, which is a bit surprising. It did lose its item earlier, actually, yeah. That makes sense. You could have went to this earlier, but I wouldn't really worry about it because I think with the team you had, you would have always lost this. Because versus this type of team, you need a set like Silverbot. You obviously have a very bulky team too, but not nearly as bulky as Silver's. So you really need like these sort of really strange like anti-stall sets, like something like Taunt Calm Mind, on Blaze could very easily try to shut down Toxapex, you have leftovers, and unless this is like some sort of more offensive like Liquidation Pex, and even if it is, like you could have Skullbarred it earlier in the game, Blaze would be able to break through I think the majority of this team. The only thing that'd be able to threaten it is really the revenge from possibly, I think it's Scarflail judging by the damage, and the Talonflame's Brave Bird. But you don't have to stay in on those attacks. Every time this comes in, it would be able to force a lot of progress. Or something like Galera and Zygarde. This Latias did have Thunderwave, it didn't have Refresh, so Galera would have definitely given you a win con versus this. You could try to set up versus it. I basically need something. Yeah, this is Scarf on Lele. You need something in order to break through this core. Some sort of weird taunt set because your team just isn't strong enough with raw power with choice items in order to break through this. Glade could have done it. It was SD, but again, Glade isn't the most reliable because they do have Talonflame to deal with that. And even if you do knock it off, if you catch on a switch and knock up, you don't have Celtox in order to punish it, so it wouldn't really matter that much because this thing could always come in hard on your on your Gallade if you ever tried SD or Agility, whatever you want. If it was Agility, not SD, you could have Stonage hit this, but tough matchup. I think versus this team, you really need to focus on how you're gonna break through it. Next up, this is this Megazard. Could be either X or Y. They drafted both, by the way. It's very scary. Vessel, this could be any sort of Soul Valley. I believe both teams have a lot of mons in here that can run very versatile sets. Between this, like Deoxys, can run offensive or defensive pivot, whatever sets. Iron Treads too. Can be choice, can be booster, can be whatever it wants, can even be special. Garchomp 2, Tapu Fini, a lot of these mons here can pull out very surprising sets. So Volley comes out. Where's the Lilligant? Switches out hard on the Drapion onto Quillfish. Taunt prevents any sorts of hazards from coming up. You feel like it's knocked off. Crunch does 0 damage to this as it reveals Helmet on Drapion. So Volley switches in and Barb Barrage does not get poisoned, 50% chance. Flame Charge does come out as Toxic is able to poison this. This will not make it faster than Booster, Treads, or Chlorophyll Elegant still. And depending on the Zard, if this is Zard Y, I don't think you can KO it unless you have a rock move. I don't think this gets a rock move. With the sun nerfing the power of the water moves you have. So multi-attack able to knock this out, but if this Zard Y comes and KOs this for free, it probably live whatever you have. Deoxys obviously can also live. It can go for some sort of like Psycho Boost or something. Circuitry comes in instead. It lives because he didn't have an SD up. Energy Ball able to knock that out. I keep forgetting. When I see like the little boost, I keep thinking that it's super strong. I already got like an SD, but it didn't. So Zerg able to pull through that. Oh, I remember this tragedy. Wrong nature on bundle does make it a booster special attack. Which means that the circuitry will in fact be able to knock out if it's Scarf. Like, if you're in this situation, and obviously like this is the wrong set, you would have been able to revenge this 100%. I think you just have to go Drapion. It seems a lot less important at this point of time, because Treads is looking like a huge issue to your team, I think. And I would rather keep this than Drapion versus it, than its HP, and obviously like if this is choice, then you come and revenge it. If this isn't choice, you revenge this with bundle afterwards anyway, it doesn't matter. And if it is Drapion, should eat its hits with ease. But unfortunately it is Scarf. Able to get another boost. Golem comes in, able to live with Sturdy, or Sash. Earthquake is able to knock this out. Because it reveals Sash and not Sturdy, that means not Coast that Berry. So obviously anything can revenge it at this point. I'm not sure why you wouldn't go Drapion. I get that Lilligant is an issue, but I'm pretty sure that keeping Golem around for it, and Tapu Fini, like, maybe you don't have a set on Fini that can deal with it, but I don't know, I think Iron Bundle just seems more important than Drapion at that point in time. Still, with the wrong sets, definitely looking tough. Zard reveals Y, able to KO that. Garchomp comes in, going for a desperate sweep here, most likely. Arclight comes in. Does not Mega, so it does not have to be Mega here. It could just be like choice or something. Knockoff does basically nothing to the Deoxys, it teleports out. Iron Treads come in, going for a free Earthquake here. Tapu Fini might get 2 KO'd by this. Treads is strong. 39. If I remember correctly, this is Bandit Treads, so this is super defensive Fini. This means that at this point of time, Tread's gonna knock this out. Garchomp should come in, but I don't think Garchomp could sweep. Maybe no, I don't think it can. Even if you get off a Scale Shot, look, it's to be faster going for Ice Spinner. On the off chance that it's triple axle, then you might win if it misses. Treads goes out to deal here. As Chomp just goes for Earthquake, goes for Rock Slide after. So this is not some sort of setup Chomp. Groupion comes in. Ice Spinner does a hefty chunk, moves the terrain. Jar is pretty free. Obviously, it won't even die to Poison Jab. Which makes sense at this point. Gaio is able to take the game home. Because Treads is faster, this revealed that it can't boost speed. And the Lucan comes in instead, goes for Ice Spinner. So it did have Ice Spinner, so it should have been a loss on this. This is Yachi Berry, but if it is, I think it would have stayed in earlier. And yeah, that's a very, very tough game to play with the fact that you can't easily run to Circuitry because he didn't have the booster speed yet, the special attack boost. Yeah, that's rough for sure. And here we have the hideous, terrifying Rillaboom from Friends versus the honest. I won't call this honest. We've law punting. You just like click attacks with this. Your opponent has to deal with it. Typhlosion looking okay. Obviously, the def on this team is out of the charts because of the Raccoon, because of the Heatran, because of the Landorus. This could be mixed with Earthquake for sure on Typhlosion. I think the best mon here is Weavile though. But Halucha can definitely make a case to sweep this team. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mute the tab. I forgot to play without sound. It's not matter, I have muted it now. We're safe. Take out, is this cloak or anything? It isn't. It is leftovers, but it's physically defensive. It takes basically nothing for that fake out new turn. I say basically nothing, I think a lot. I think a lot for a bond with a lot of physical investment, but that's because this doesn't have very high bulk, I believe. I can check, I might be wrong. Arcanid, 92 with 68 HP. It sounds like probably just max HP then. It takes like 20. That's T-Growth comes out on a Arcanid. Puts it to sleep. Just an okay play here, I suppose, because it's a mid-ground expecting Heatran. Gold probably can't beat you if you have like Earthquake or whatever. And sleeping Heatran means you get Earthquake after. Still not sure what the set is, but unfortunately Torgal staying in means that Arachnid is the one that's put to sleep, and Arachnid is the least threatening member of the team. Boom. It gets spun out. Another fake out comes in. It is leftover Stompant. They stay in the spin as U-turn comes out. I would have a bold play. I wouldn't have risked that because of how good Donphan looks here with Ice Shard for Landorus. With your ability to KO the Heatran and the Golden Go. But we're actually able to come in safely. As Infestation comes out, able to infest the Rotom, but likely a Volt Switch coming here, as instead Tricks, it reveals Choice Scarf, Training Center gets removed. As Rillaboom clicks U-turn. There's no damage, this is Ragium with Thing Growth. Arcanid comes in, Infestation won't do anything. As this gets Toxic. This is a dual status Tank Growth with It's definitely interesting here, because obviously like with that means you only have 2 attacking moves to deal with like the Heatran, the Golden Go, and the rest of the team. You're sacrificing a lot of your slots, but it is good in order to hit this, and if you already use your Sleep Powder, you're able to put a timer on that Halucha or something. Whoops are back on the field. Skillsdale comes in, maybe trying to prevent a possible defog, but that lets in Donphan. If this is offensive or like Specs Gold, it's obviously leftovers, so Donphan can get killed here. This is like some spectral or something like metal coat. No, it goes back up to sturdy. I forgot about the grassy terrain. Never mind, you're safe. Goes for Ice Spinner, probably predicting the Rillaboom. But doesn't pay off as the Rock Grenade comes in. Phase Station to 0, and the webs go away again. Weird is afraid of the webs means to me that Weavile probably is not Boots. There's Typhlosion, they're both probably either like Garfed or some weird barrier or something. We'll switch crits. Weavile able to come in probably projecting Ice Shard as Heatran comes in on that. It'll tank that with ease. Magma Storm switch is looking non-existent. Typhlosion can't beat you 1v1. And Brotom's already toxic, that's going to be taking so much damage if it switches in as long as you land. Heatran is always an absolute menace to switch into. Now if this is Protect, you're just dead, but luckily it isn't. Goes for Trick again. Grabs the leftovers, which won't matter at this point. I believe Arachnid didn't really care about that too much, but Heatran does get in again, but Horsepower knocks out Golden Go. Aggressive Light comes out. I don't know the Golden Go line. If this was Garp, I don't agree with the sack. If this was Vex, then I do understand. If this is like another item like Color Berry, then that's also kind of fine because you do have like full HP Heatran. But that I probably would have just like sacked something like Arachnid instead. Or even sacked this, like immediately try to get up the terrain and sweep with Hawlucha. If this is bulk up Hawlucha, then it absolutely smashes here. But the seed won't work anymore if it is seed and not like other I don't believe it was. But Ice Spinner gets rid of the terrain, so Hawlucha won't get a double speed, most likely. As the webs keep going up. Drain does a sizable chunk to this thing. It is a lunge, does basically nothing back. Type poison here. Lucha finally comes in able to Encore in the Giga Drain. Because it's Encore, I have my doubts that it's bulk up with Encore. And it won't be able to double speed anyway. I think I remember it not being bulk up. I think it was like SD, but here anyway, without the double speed, and this is a fake out Lopunny, you'll be able to just keep faking you out, and then Ice Shard Weavile will be able to finish you off. No fan comes in on the SD. Might even live this, because CC, yeah, this max defense stun fan, able to live that thing. Hopefully boosted. Gets rid of the webs, but it shouldn't really matter. Ice Shard does not knock it out, but Desperate Encore on the spin. Heatran at least should be able to grab KO if it lands here. But already it's looking lost for Crunkle. Because yeah, there's no way that if we get one more KO at least. But Weavile already swept at this point. Typhlosion does a minimal amount of damage. And there's able to put this to kill this, but now even if it is Yachi, it is in range of Ice Shard. It does take damage. It might be Bandits. Either way, it doesn't matter. If it's not, it should be able to KO anyway. Hawlucha comes in desperately. You know, with all the priority on this team, the webs actually weren't looking that important. Because mainly like this stupid annoying Lopunny, if the webs were staying on the field, it would have just kept faking out, And this is Flame Body, you could punish it burn. Obviously, if you switch in on CC, you're just gonna get blown up. And I don't know, this is a really tough matchup, I believe. Let's... second to last. I'm just going to let this play, because this is a magnificent game. We start off with Durant edging Superior. Let's reveal is not choice. Get 1 KO for Durant. Triple Edge comes in. T-Char comes in hard on the CC, that means the sand is gone for Draco's Ult later in the game. It's able to edge that Turtle Edge. Next comes in, sand permanently gone, means it wasn't the rock. In your beam, I don't think this KOs. But you would have been able to see... that doesn't seem to matter then. I speak to KO that, I'm surprised. First suppression, Durant's revenge kills Dio. Kiram should die too. This is really bulky Kiram, I'm surprised. Or actually no, this isn't Hustle then. I guess it isn't Hustle, because I think Hustle would have KO'd. For sure. This is like Swarm. Edge comes in, but I don't think you need to make that play and risk dying to Kiram if it's like Specs or something, because Ninjask can't touch you, it's Ninjask. X is able to knock this out. Ninjask tries to sub and dodge, but... You see, Ninjask has negative defense, gets knocked out from Iron Head. And I want you to look at the look at the monster rank code. It got 5 here. The little PU warrior managed to get 5 versus versus Pledge too. Pledge being the only one that died to another one being Draco's ult. It was a 5-0 from Durant, which is very impressive. Into this team obviously has a good match with D6. But I'm surprised it didn't take enough chip earlier in the game or to be knocked out by something else like Deoxys. But obviously first suppression did come in clutch here. Last up, we do have the Quirk team with only one of the Quirkers. And we have the Cool Awesome team with the really cool Awesome on down here in the bottom right. Elephant leads in the Mo. Suicune comes out as Marowak switches in. Good double here in order to catch the switch out here. Even if it did like flip turn, then that shouldn't matter that much because Suicune has a pretty decent matchup here and everything. You're not too scared of Jagals, you're 2 steel type self full HP. So it's going Suicune covers a lot. Quirk comes in, gets frame 1 burns, is the best move in the game, probably gonna get clicked here. Not substitute, Stealth Rocks. As Suicune reveals that it's the really annoying combined subsets, Knockoff does not break the sub, you can't keep going for that. At this point, even though it's +2, you go to Gouge, you can spam either Sludge Bomb or Thunderbolts. Both should deal with this, unless it's Ice Beam, but I believe it's Protect on the set. As Scald does end up burning the Pincer. Return does not break sub from this thing, so it's able to maintain its status behind the sub. Protect for SD. And it keeps that up, but Banded Palafin able to break that. This goes for another Protect for some reason, probably misclick here, but if you just forgot. And Palafin obviously does a ton here, Suicune now out of range, go for Protect again. And you need the Scalp Burn here, or else you're going to lose 1v1 to this Banded Palafin. But instead he chooses a switch hat. I don't particularly agree with that. I think Suicune at this point, it's just as useful at 1 HP as it is at this amount. It doesn't really set up anything anymore, and as emergency like water move into Marowak, it still does the job if you're able to protect one more time. Instead, Metagross gets sacked. We just open up Gigaldi in order to quick moves quite a bit here. We just need Scizor on. Then we could go able to get rid of the rocks and the terrain. If it has Grass Knot, that would KO from here probably. And because this burns, there's no real threat of it KOing you back. Earth Power won't KO, Earthquake won't KO. Rotom instead comes out. It loses its item, which is kind of big. It would Specs. Suicune switches back in. Rock go back up once again. Let's go for some again. A flip turn. King Gambit comes out. I really disagree with this play. I think, especially after it's revealed it's no Ice Beam. First of all, it wouldn't really be Ice Beam versus your team to begin with, but Gigaldi already forces this thing out that revealed that sub. Able to click Sunchwan for free here, and if they go Scizor afterwards, it doesn't really matter as much. Your Marowak is at full. You get that Sack Swampert. It's better than risking a burn on King Gambit. Because it doesn't get burned here, it's able to go for knock. So we could get saved again. Scizor can come out. Able to roost off, but now Flare Blitz looking absolutely free now that Suicune is already low HP. Might even knock it out from here. Our Boulder switches in instead. Reveals that it's not booster, takes half of its HP. I'd keep Marowak, and I think as Iron Boulder I just might need to leave just in case they leave it in. Swampert comes in, Mighty Cleave, yep. He takes the burn damage, another Cleave will KO. Busy comes out instead. Elephant comes out to Jet Punch. Rotom will take a ton from that. 33 at you revealed its spec, so it's pretty offensive. As Marowak is able to come in with the Lightning Rod, it's able to claim one more KO, probably this Rotom. Rotom tricks it, but that won't matter because it OHKOs everything here anyway, pretty much. Yeah, maybe Coco, but Coco can't really touch it either. So it comes out on this. It doesn't die to Scald, and it gets... And Suicune does get KO'd by Poltergeist. I don't think this was, I don't agree with this play either, though, because mainly looking at this Scizor and looking at the remaining team members, it's a huge issue. It's just a massive menace, and without this thing having HP remaining, this could very easily reverse sweep you from this point. Obviously now he's sacked, so that's 3 HP. Elephant able to force some damage back. And now that you revealed that you're banded, if this was like a curse on Scizor, boost defense and attack, then it would have just won. Instead, Coco comes in. Good switch into Gigaldi. Now from here, just spam T-Bolt. This is SD, not curse. It switches out here. I don't think Bullet Punch would have KO'd it. Might have though. Either way, I think Jet Punch with Pelipin would still knock it out from this range. So I assume it's kind of a lost game from here, but Coco on spec, Gigaldi locking the T-Bolts. If you're Roost, it might be fine. It just goes for Defog. Again, it comes in. It just goes for Gleam. It's not Roost on Coco, it seems. Your Punch actually KOs from this range. Scizor is faster, goes for Roost, as Gambit just keeps spamming Knock. And yeah, here's where this burn would have come in clutch if Suicune got the burn here. Which is why I think that you should have just, like, Gigaldi has 92 HP remaining. If you went into And I think instead, you would not risk this getting burned. If this was burned, then obviously Scizor would have been able to 1v1 it with Roost, get up a bunch of STs, and just KO the whole team. Be enough HP remaining to live Jet Punch. That was 4-6 easy, and will die to Jet Punch. Pelipin able to clean it up off the back of T-Bolt spam. Very good game to end off on. I'm already tired from this. This is week 1. Week 2 is already like halfway over, so I'll take you guys back with that. Sunday, Monday, Sunday like that. So see you then.